Hello and welcome to MRAD Reviews. I'm going to try a new show, this review show, and see how it goes. We've built a little set, a little table, so it's easier to do reviews than shooting over my shoulder. Um, we'll be filling the back wall with different logos and stuff. If you have anything to send us in, please do. Um, what I'm going to do first, though, is review this Archangel target stock. Um, it was €99 or €100 to get. It was pretty cheap. For the money, though, my initial thoughts were it's going to be light. It's not going to be great. I mean, a Boyd stock, the same kind of shape as this SS Evolution, comes in at 130 euro, and this has more features, and I thought that the Boyd stock would be better. So we'll go straight to the features of this. It has a nice high comb, which is higher to the action in comparison to a Boyd's. An adjustable length of pull, which is quite good. It goes from 13.5 to 14 and I think 3/4 inches, which will cover most shooters. It's a polymer. It's a fairly hard injected polymer. It's quite weighty. It's I think it's just short of £3, um, which is quite nice. I didn't think it would be this heavy when I picked it up. I thought it'd be kind of light plastic. It comes with the stock the way it is. It comes with a barrel block to lock your barrel in place. It comes with an extended mag release, which is handy if you have the older style Rugers with the metal trigger box that don't have the extended release. It's a little bit longer than the standard ones that come on the newer Rugers, the polymer triggers. It comes with a washer for the action screw, an Allen key for the barrel block, and a nice little bolt buffer. Very similar in quality to the tougher buffers that you can buy, which I use myself, and they're very, very good. So yeah, very similar to a tougher buffer. It's kind of designed for target shooting. It's got a really big flat base, which is nice for a bag. It's got a hook on the back as well. It has two of the older style sling attachments, the sling studs here for your sling or your bipod. It also has 4 QD points, which when I looked at them first, I thought it was just an inletted plastic circle and it wouldn't hold, but after closer inspection, it does have a metal ring embedded into it, so a QD stud is not going to pull out through it. So if you want to use a more tactical type QD stud or a nice tab gear sling, you have 1 point here, one on the opposite, and then 2 up here on the forend. It is not pillar bedded. It's literally just the polymer the way you see it. As you can see sitting on the table, it's very balanced around the pistol grip. Even with the stock collapsed all the way, the pistol grip is still the center of balance, which is very, very nice. Um, the way this stock comes in and out is it doesn't just screw, as you can see the big thread there. It comes in and out in stages. It looks about 5mm stages, and it locks for each of them. So once it's locked in, it's not going to come in or move out, which is very nice. The stock isn't fully solid. There's a big gap up the back of the cheek riser, and underneath the pistol grip itself there's a little compartment which comes with the parts I said in it, like the buffer and stuff. You could keep stuff up there, I don't know, whatever you want to hide it there. As for how flexible it is, I have trouble moving it, bending it, because the front is so reinforced. It's very nice. So what we'll do is we'll put a barrel action into it. What we're going to put into it is a complete stock standard one, except for an upgraded bolt buffer. Stock trigger, stock everything, barrel. So it'll be the tapered barrel. This is the one I have here. The gun is clear. Lock back the bolt. Just like every other one, it sits in. There's a little groove inside in it, which goes back into and then drops down into it. There we go. And then you get your little action screw. Now one thing I'd like to have seen added to this, which would make it really good, is instead of having your old normal slot screw, um, which if you don't have a proper flat square screwdriver, you'll end up messing up with square walls. I'd like to see, it wouldn't have cost very much to ship with it, a little Allen head bolt instead, and maybe a slight bit longer because it does sit slightly high in the stock. But again, you're sinking that screw in about 7mm, 8mm, so it's in there, and that's it in there in the barreled action. Now I'm just going to put a bipod on this really quick so it's easier to show. And while I'm doing this, I can show you one of the things I don't like about it. When you use a normal Harris style bipod, this wouldn't have a problem with an Atlas or something like that, but I don't know what you bother buying an Atlas for this. When you use the sling adapters, now the bipod does sit perfectly well in it because it has a big base, but there's a problem with some bipods that when I rotate it, where the hook for the leg comes up from the spring hits the handguard of the stock and stops you from going to its full rotation. It's pretty close, and some bipods are worse, some bipods are better, but this Harris is just about clearing it. It's not a big problem, but if you have some different bipods, Debian mightn't be the same construction, or Debian, but yeah, not a big problem, but one little thing I noticed. I'm just going to show you here how solid it is with a small camera. It's very solid. When it's in, it's in. It'll always return to 0 when you try and move it. Flex up and down is very small as well. There's some little visual problems I have with it, but they're only cosmetic. You can see the gap here between the stock and the action. I don't like that. Again, it's not going to affect anything, but I'd prefer if it was completely flush to the receiver. But what I do really like about it, and I didn't like in my boards, is this here, even though it's pure smooth, completely smooth, on my boards, when I pull the trigger, it would rise, and I'd have problems with that because I'd stack my groups. But this is not moving. Even if I push on the bottom of the trigger assembly, nothing happens. Absolutely nothing. So, as for how solid it's going in there, it's not pillar bedded. There's no bedding material in there. It's just the gun against the plastic polymer stock. It's very solid, a lot more solid than I thought it would be. So what we did with this gun, we went up to the range and zeroed at 50 meters, just to see what kind of group it would be. With a completely stock 1022, except for a bolt buffer, which you'll get one with the kit anyway. Stock barrel, stock trigger. The trigger is 5 to 7 pounds. It totally depends on the trigger. It creaks. The best thing on this right now probably is the stock. So we brought it up and compared it to the groups with the original stock, which comes with the 1022, which is this one here, which is very, very flexible. It has a brass insert in the bottom, you can see it there, but very flexible, very light, probably half the weight of this stock, and it doesn't have a pistol grip. And I think when you start shooting with a pistol grip, it's very hard to go back to these old style, or not sure the old style, but this style of swept back grip. So we brought it up, we shot some groups, and I recorded the better groups from this stock at 50 meters. And I'll show you the video now, but basically 3-shot groups. I had one flyer, which was me and the trigger. I'm used to a 2-pound trigger, not a 5 to 7 pound trigger. We were getting a little bit more than an inch. Now, as we upgrade this gun, you'll see improvements. I mean, my own gun is probably a little over 1/4 of an inch at 50 meters. This one was about an inch with completely stock attachments and gear and this particular stock, or not stock, but this particular scope. But overall, I really like it. It's a little bit heavy, but no problem with that for what it does. It's very solid. I don't like the fact that some bipods won't swivel in it, and there's a couple of little aesthetics with it. Just the gaps around the receiver are a little big, but other than that, the features for €100 are amazing. Length of pull adjustment, nice high cheek weld or comb, and a big wide forend for a bag, and also the hook back here on the bottom for hooking into a bag is just brilliant. That's my quick review. We'll be doing more videos on this particular gun as we upgrade different parts of it. As of now, as I said, it's very stock, fairly standard as it came out. It's the newer type Remington or Ruger with the polymer trigger. It's the just the standard one. I think it's either the cheapest or the second cheapest one you can get. It might be the carbine, I'm not sure. Now that you've watched that grouping, you can see I miscount on, it might have been the second or third target I fired 4 instead of 3, but they were stacking pretty good. The bipod that was on the gun was letting it down a bit. The trigger was the biggest killer. It was breaking at random points almost, and it would creak 2 or 3 times before it would go off. But we'll be following this gun through its build, from stock gun to this one with the new chassis. It's getting the new Picatinny rail, it's getting the new, much better first focal plane scope, it's getting nice rings. Everything's going to be changed over the next couple of weeks, and we'll document that and go through each part of it. But for now, this is my first review show, so tell me how it goes, if you like it, if you don't like it, what you want me to change. As I said, if you want me to bring some, if you want to send me some stickers and stuff, or whatever to stick up on my back wall, please do. But for now, thank you. Comment, subscribe, like, it helps every little bit. Thanks, bye.